He lost his battle to colon cancer. And we're going to get into more of that in the next half hour with Steve Wilson from Speedway Digest. He's going to be joining us momentarily. And then we're also, in the entire second hour, we're going to be remembering Kobe Bryant. My name is Tom Marquis. You're listening to The Balance.
The Air National Guard is a reserve component of the United States Air Force and serves alongside active-duty Air Force members in times of a national crisis. In addition, the Air Guard serves the state and local community in a wide range of capacities. The reason people join the Air Guard is as diverse as our members and includes such reasons as a deep desire to serve their country, money for college, travel, new job skills, and the pride that goes along with belonging to the greatest military organization in the world. I joined because I felt a calling to serve my country, but I didn't want to be far away from my family, so the Indiana Air National Guard was a perfect fit for me. With over 95 different career opportunities to choose from and 100% paid college tuition to any state-funded college, why not give us a call? Call 1-800-841-3103 or visit online at goang.com to find out more. Again, that's 1-800-841-3103. The Air National Guard, guarding America, defending freedom.
It's double trouble, double the fun at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. See the largest antelope on Earth, the giant eland, and the ugliest creature on Earth, the African warthog. There's so much to see and do, including the Midwest's only drive-through safari. Feed the animals, see live educational shows, feel the excitement. Have your picture taken with a python or cockatoo. Feel the adventure. Shop the Simba Lodge gift shop with items available from around the globe. Visit the snack bar or picnic facilities. Enjoy a pony or camel ride. Or cheer your favorite porker on to victory in the famous Pork Chop Down. Bring your family to see the rare and exotic animals at African Safari Wildlife Park in Port Clinton, Ohio. Just take Route 2 to the Route 53 North exit and follow the sign. Only 17 miles west of Cedar Point via Route 6. Open every day, rain or shine.
Morning face. You get it when you don't sleep well. This is what happened to Linda.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Ah, what is that thing?
It's me, Linda.
Oh my God, it talks! Run!
No, it's me, Linda from HR.
It looks hungry! Save the children! Save them! Stay back, I've got mace!
Ow, that went in my eyes.
Quit moving!
It's called beauty sleep for a reason. And there's never been a better time to get some.
Get 20% off IKEA Sultan mattresses. IKEA, love your home.
We begin with heartbreaking news from the racing world about a member of one of the legendary families in auto sports.
Today, John Andretti lost his very public and hard-fought battle against colon cancer.
John was a racing veteran, a champion of sick children, and known as one of the nicest guys in the sport. Right now, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is paying tribute to John, lighting up the scoring pylon in his honor. It's a place he knew so well and raced many times. Sports director Dave First is here with more. Dave.
Hi, guys. Good evening. A racer at heart, a father, son, husband, dad, you name it, one of the most giving people you'll ever meet. The sports world is mourning the loss of Indy's own John Andretti tonight, who died today after a 3-year battle with colon cancer. You ask him, John Andretti, he was an IndyCar racer, like his father Aldo, his uncle Mario. He competed in 12 Indy 500s. Nothing beat the years of 91 and 92 when he competed against Mario and cousins Michael and Jeff. His most success in racing really came in stock cars. First career win came at the July race out at Daytona, winning for the legendary Cale Yarborough, and later won for Richard Petty in Martinsville. But once his career on the track started slowing down, his career off it was picking up with something called Race for Riley. Last summer, he finished his 23rd event with money going for Riley Hospital for Children. But it was 3 years ago when he was first diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. Devastating news that affected, of course, his entire family. We sat down with him that following May. Is this more difficult to watch in your family than it is for you to deal with this?
It's way harder to watch because it's unfair to them. I've said it several times. It's unfair to them that I'm even in this condition. because this could have been prevented. You can sit and mope and do all the things you want to do that you think that you would expect to do. None of that's happened to me. I mean, and a lot of it's because of my family around me. They just, you know, if you do, you're losing, and nobody in his family wants to lose.
A shot there of his family, wife Nancy, son Jarrett, daughters Olivia and Amelia. Our thoughts are with them tonight. Coming up, all new at 6, a deeper look into John's remarkable life and career. John Andretti was 56.
Thank you to our friends here in the local affiliate, ABC affiliate, WRTV 6, Dave First. Certainly a very well known around the track there. Appreciate them allowing us to use that soundbite about John Andretti. Joining us now, Editor-in-Chief of Speedway Digest. This show's a little bit different today. We do want to talk a little bit about the Daytona 500, but we are remembering both Kobe Bryant and John Andretti, both huge losses to their respective sports. Steve, welcome to the Balance on this somber Saturday, if you will. It's the Saturday before the Super Bowl, but man, we got a dark cloud hanging above us. Let's talk a little bit about John Andretti and his life and legacy with NASCAR and IndyCar, for that matter. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, so John had been around, as you know, that soundbite had kind of really just kind of overviewed, and he'd done everything in auto racing. Everything from go-karts to open-wheel drag racing, stock cars, you name it, he'd done it. He's well-versed in multi-discipline auto racing. He's somebody that, obviously, with a pedigree coming from the Andretti family, somebody that followed in the footsteps of the family business. And I think one of the biggest when you talk about John Andretti, that you have to think about in 1999 that he took Richard Petty's famous number 43 back to victory lane for the first time in 20 years at Martinsville Speedway, which Petty was the last one to do that himself, and he had done it right there at Martinsville Speedway. And in '99 when he won, that kind of put Petty back on the map, so to speak. He spent he spent many more years in that car, but I think just the success and the fact of taking that 43 back to victory lane at Martinsville in 1999, that's just I think that was one of the had to have been a highlight not only for him but Petty, and they've struggled. They had struggled for almost 20 years at that point, and they have struggled ever since. So for them and John to do that and put the famous 43 back into victory lane, something that hadn't been done since Richard Petty himself had done it. And then you have another pedigree name like Andretti that was able to go and do what he did. He also had gone to victory lane in Daytona during the summer speed weeks and the Pepsi 400 at that time. Just a couple of years prior to that. So, there was he was well versed in what he did. For the sport itself to lose somebody like that, everybody, looks up to people like that. They look to their they look to what they have done. They look to the knowledge that they bring to the sport, and just because you have a brand name like, Andretti, not everybody is as successful as, Mario or even Richard Petty or some of these other brand names out there, but they bring a wealth of knowledge into the sport. They bring just so much that, that people are become intrigued to the fact of, here's this person with this brand name. I'm interested to see what they can do, and just between the interest of the fans and the knowledge that they bring into the sport, it's when you lose somebody like that, it's definitely a loss.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a moving tweet that Petty reports put out about John Andretti and what he means to that team. I think a lot of people lose sight of John Andretti in the aspect of the Andrettis that we know at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Marco and Michael and Mario and that's how we think about the Andrettis. But John Andretti was such a humble person. Had just an awesome opportunity to talk to him several times. Of course, he lives right here in here in Indianapolis, just a few miles from me. And we both lived in the west suburbs here of Indianapolis. He just was a normal person. I mean, the guy you would see at the diner, the guy you would see at the sports bar, the guy he's just a humble guy. But more than that, he spent so much of his time raising money and for the Race for Riley as the soundbite alluded to from Dave First, that it's a go-kart race that he does every year, just a little bit east of Indianapolis here in Newcastle, actually, ironically, my hometown. But all of the drivers, all of the IndyCar drivers, NASCAR drivers too, go out there and compete and raise thousands and thousands of dollars for Riley's Children's Hospital. And we've got the tweet up, but just make sure that and you heard him talk about this in the soundbite as well, just make sure that you take some time, take a day off work, and get your colonoscopy done. I had mine done last year. It's not the funnest thing in the world, but you do get cleansed, but you do get a day off work, and go do that as well. And Steve, I think you would echo that that's a very important thing, well, both for males and female, but certainly for men, dads, and fathers, and so forth, that husbands, brothers, to get this colonoscopy done.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that over the years that, it hasn't even really been until really just in the last 20, 30 or so years that this has been something that's become more of the norm instead of the exception to the rule. And, cancer screenings as a whole are becoming more of the norm and across the board. And, we see early onset or even early detection of these cancers, and the survivability rate of them is going up as people are becoming more accustomed to going and getting those screenings every year. And whether it's breast cancer or prostate cancer or colon cancer or lung cancer or whatever the case may be, the fact of the matter is, and that in most of these cases, that the earlier that you get it detected, the survivability rate goes up. I've watched people go through cancer treatments. I've lost people to cancer, but that's unfortunately a fact of life. But and it's sad to say that, but it is. But the solace into this is that as we become more accustomed to going and getting these things done, as they become more prominent and more prevalent as to getting it done and having it done, getting yourself checked out, the more likelihood that you're going to survive this. And by bringing attention to this is what we need to continue to do across the board. For John had colon cancer, but all types of cancers. The more that we can bring this to the forefront, the more that we can talk about it, the more that we can continue to make this more of the norm. I think we'll continue, and as medical science evolves, maybe we won't lose as many people as we have in the past.
We're talking with Steve Wilson, Speedway Digest, editor-in-chief of Speedway Digest. This is kind of a different show today. We have found ourselves in an unfortunate circumstance where we've lost two great people and perspective